Hi, this is Rabbi Jeremy Lawrence. This week's Parsha is Parshat Chukkat, which tells the very famous story of Moses striking the rock in place of speaking to it. You remember there was no water. The well, which had miraculously followed Miriam, vanished with her death. The children of Israel were thirsty and complained. God tells Moses to speak to the rock and bring water out of it. Moses loses his temper with the children of Israel and strikes the rock with his rod. Water does pour out. The children of Israel have their thirst quenched. However, for defying God, Moses is told that he will be punished and not allowed into the promised land. It is one of the harshest narratives in the whole of the Torah, and one of the most paradoxical. Clearly, Moses should have followed God's instruction to the letter, but given that he did not, and was punished so severely, how come he was successful, and water flowed from the rock? For sure, Moses was wrong to lose his temper. Perhaps, too, we are shown that a man in his position is judged rigorously. After all, Moses teaches and represents absolute fidelity to the word of God. To that extent, it was necessary that Moses be seen to have been held accountable and to incur a very real penalty. And yet, water did flow out. Despite his anger, God didn't embarrass Moses and didn't let him down. God didn't hold Moses up to ridicule, nor let him become a laughingstock in front of the people. God didn't choose to let the miracle fail until Moses put his rod down and apologized. Moses' own contrition is not even mentioned at this point. We notice also that the eventual punishment for violating God's instruction was a punishment delivered and implemented by God alone. I take from this story a couple of valuable lessons. First, for our leaders in the religious and also the lay world. Leadership is an onerous responsibility, and the people who take on that charge make many sacrifices, however much they might enjoy the limelight. For sure, they must be true to their charge and accountable. The fact that Moses was punished is a reminder that one's prestige, one's prominence, and one's track record don't mean that one has risen above normal religious obligations. Far from it, even Moses is held to account. From the fact that God made the miracle happen, despite Moses doing the wrong thing, there is a second significant lesson. People make mistakes. Sometimes their passions get the better of them, and it happens to the greatest of people. However, not every mistake made by a leader is one which must result in immediate uproar, in scandal or humiliation. Moses' impropriety here was between him and God. God would resolve that himself and in his own time. Disciplining Moses was not a job for every grumbling Israelite. It was important to God that the good and vital work that Moses was doing, alongside the recognition of all the good that he had already done, was not sacrificed in the face of a single injudicious lapse. We are quick to criticize and to judge. It's not wrong. We're not supposed to sit back and acquiesce in the face of wrongdoing or injustice. Nonetheless, we should offer commentary that is appropriate and constructive. We should appreciate the good, even when criticizing the bad. And we should learn from God's handling of Parshat Chukkat not to leap at every opportunity to chop down tall poppies and leave our fields barren. This is Rabbi Jeremy Lawrence wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.